All righty. Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our first sales meeting of the fourth quarter. If you have been around the block here with Keller Williams or in real estate, you know that there is a common adage in the real estate industry that next year starts on October 1st. And so today is in many ways the first day of 2025. The reason we say that is because the average sales cycle, the time from getting an even hot lead to getting paid on that lead is about 90 days. And we have just 90 days left, actually 92 days left in the year. But it is the start of the fourth quarter, and with that means it's time for business planning. We're going to be diving into some business planning prep today. I want to be real clear, if you have not gotten your ticket for Business Planning Clinic, which is 2 weeks from today, with Master Faculty, Bold Coach, Regional Director, Operating Principal, and Mega Agent Scott Toombs, he can plan about any business that exists inside of the Keller Williams ecosystem and a few others. Please, please, please get your ticket. Do not miss that opportunity. If you are tuning in from your job, plan to be sick, find a way to not be there. Make sure you don't schedule any inspections or anythings on that day. We're going to start today as we start every meeting, and that's with a little conversation about our belief system. Here at Keller Williams, we call our belief system the Y4C2Ts. That's a nice anachronized way for us to remember all of the things that should we choose to put these forward in our relationships with our clients, with our co-brokes, and with our communities, we're going to do better than we would otherwise. I like to pick one of these when we're on Zoom, talk a little bit about it. And today we are going to have a conversation about commitment in all things. As we work through this week, next week, and then of course on the 15th for business planning, we're going to have conversations that are not being had at other brokerages. You may talk to an agent that you're doing a deal with and ask them about their business plan, and they'll look at you like you got three heads, because it's not a conversation that they are having at their office. It's not a conversation that anyone's ever had with them. They're just here selling real estate. And I want you to know that this company has a commitment from top to bottom, from every employee, every agent leader, every owner investor, everybody associated with the organization, to deliver the mission of the company. Now, the mission of the company has 5 parts: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. All of those sound really wonderful. The one that is a differentiating factor in our organization is that we want to have conversations and we want to support and plan and build businesses with our agents. A business worth owning, not just the next real estate transaction, not just the next year, but a business that can fund our perfect lives. So that's our commitment. The business planning process, and when you show up at 8:30 in the morning for business planning in 2 weeks, and you leave at 4:30 in the afternoon, you won't just have 6 hours of CE. You won't just have a full belly. You won't have had a great day. What you will have, among all of those things, is a commitment to yourself. And that's what the business plan is. And when we get good at business planning, we can get good at fitness planning or financial planning or any other area of our life that we want to have an impact by getting organized and getting into action. And that's what it's all about. So our commitment to you, your commitment to yourself. All right, let's dive in and talk a little bit about what's coming down the pike. We have an awesome calendar coming in the month of October, which is underway today. And we have 3 career night opportunities. These are fantastic ways for you to grow your profit share here at one of the most profitable and highly profit sharing offices in the world for Keller Williams. And that is simply to invite people into the office to learn more either about the career in real estate or about our company. So we have one in the Pepper Pike office, one in our Lakewood office, and one via Zoom. Any and all are welcome, whether they have a license, they've started classes, or they just want to see what it is about this company that leads to such big and wonderful lives. All right, here's our training. As I said, the month of October, a massive one in terms of everything going on. I want you to know we have something for everybody here this month. Let's talk a little bit about some of the great things that have been added in recent months. Starting, on Mondays, Kelly Mann, our Director of Launch and New Agent Onboarding, has been hosting sessions called Launch Plus. And Launch Plus is focused on those extra in the details, maybe a little bit more in the weeds items that allow you to get through transactions or serve clients in a quicker and more frictionless way. So you see this month, we're going to be talking about, establishing marketing, organizing your database, flow of a transaction, and then some higher level opportunities within dotloop. In addition to that, on Mondays, because we're entering what I like to call pro time, right? We always have a joke that realtors come out when the Easter Bunny does and go away when the pumpkins start showing up. If you're working in the fourth quarter, you're doing it because you're a professional. And so as we get into pro time, there's a tremendous amount of opportunity for every agent. And we want to take advantage of that by getting our minds right. Last week, we had a conversation about the shift. The first tactic in the shift is to get real and get right. And that is a conversation around mindset. So every Monday morning at 9:30 a.m., we are going to be having a brief intention setting and mindset shaping conversation. It'll be led by a number of different people throughout the month, but it's a great way to kick your week off. If you feel like, man, I'm really not jumping out of bed on Monday or hammering it, until the middle of the week when I feel like half the week's already gone by, because it is, then this is going to be something to help you figure out what are your intentions, what are your obstacles, and what does a win look like for the week. Tomorrow, sign up now if you haven't. Sign up for Core Law. This is a core CE. So in the month of October, I think we have 12 total hours of CE. So if anybody is like, geez, I was so busy over the summer, I was crushing it, and I need to get caught up on my CE, we're here for you guys. Tomorrow in the Pepper Pike office with Mike Caticcio. If you've taken sessions with him before, he is a crack up. He's a hilarious guy and he's the only person I've ever seen that makes Core Law fun. And so be there or be square, but make sure you get signed up. We need to know who's going to be in the room so that we can appropriately document for CE. Our Growth Collective continues this month. Whoopsie daisies. Our Growth Collective continues this month. This month, it'll be led by our Lakewood productivity coach, Wesley Croft. And it's all about getting into action. So we do 2 sessions that will be on Zoom where we set intentions, identify outcomes, get into action. And then the 3rd session each month is in person, where we spend time doing what we said we would do. Great sessions, great opportunity for those folks who are in business to continue to have the systems, the tools, the accountability, and the models to deliver more business more consistently. There's a session every Thursday in October around leveraging command. So when you think about the idea of the leads, listings, and leverage, we look at things in that order. So how do I get more leads? How do I get more listings? And then how do I leverage? Technology is the best way to leverage out of the gate. It is the lowest cost investment with the highest yield. And so we are going to bring to you 4 different opportunities to leverage KW Command, our proprietary end-to-end technology suite here in October. We already talked a little bit about the launch sessions, but a reminder of everything that's coming down the pike with what Kelly is doing with Launch Plus. And if you haven't had the chance to meet our newest leadership team member, our Director of Marketing and Graphic Design, Tori Fantozzi, please pop on next Monday, 1 p.m., October 7th, and get a deep dive in how you can start to do some marketing and start to glean some of the knowledge that she has. And then, of course, on the 21st, nobody knows the flow of a transaction better than somebody who did over 400 of them last year. That's Liz Kosminski, also of the Leverage Center. It bears repeating. Do not miss out on the Business Planning Clinic. There is a massive, massive, massive opportunity here for us. If you were with us last month for the Mega Camp recap, I talked about some of the patterns that exist inside of our industry. We are, as an industry, where we were in 2010, so about 14, 15 years ago, and that is transactions have dropped off considerably, and we're in pro time year round. Now, the thing that follows that is that people start leaving the industry. But by the time everybody's out of the industry's already coming back. So what does that tell us? 2025 is the year to press. 2025 is going to be the year of taking territory and taking market share that you will never give back. And if you think like, Mike, you're talking like, I don't want to run a $100 million business. I don't want to grow. I get that. And whatever business you want still needs a plan. And whatever territory you take, even if it's just within your own database, you won't give that back ever if you secure it in the next year. So your business plan could be to do 12 units. I'm going to do 12. I want to do a unit a month, Mike, and I want to do it with friends, family members, neighbors, former colleagues, and their referrals. Awesome. You still need a business plan. You are not going to manifest your way to a consistent, repeatable, scalable business or one that is protected through the shift without a business plan. So join us October 15th. That's 2 weeks from today. Do not miss. Extremely talented presenter, extremely relevant content, and probably the most significant time ever to have a strong business plan. On October 23rd, our Investor Mastermind is hosting a networking event at Top Golf. Please register now. We'll go ahead and drop that in the chat so anyone can click through on getting signed up. It is an awesome event. It will be an awesome event and a great way if you've ever thought about investing or you've got investor clients and you're just like, man, they are speaking what feels like a different language to me, or they're asking questions they don't always have answers to. Because we have an awesome community of agents that are always willing to help. And part of the challenge with having such a big and abundant company is that sometimes we don't always know who to go to for help. And so there's a tremendous opportunity here to get in the mix with everyone who's an expert pro or in the same situation you are related to investing and investors. And dang, forgot to update the slide. Prices went up today, guys. So let that be a lesson to you. Family reunion is just about, what is that? 6 months away, 4 months away, 5 months away. We're about 5 months out from family reunion. And for those of you who went last year, you know the value of this experience. If you have not been, or maybe you got outbid during the clam bake last week for the family reunion travel package, by all means, do not let that stop you from going. We were having some conversations as a leadership team about how we can help people or support people in getting to family reunion. And one thing I want to remind everybody is that everybody in this company has a training savings account that they can squirrel away some cash out of their closings. So if the average agent in our company is going to do between 8 and 10 transactions, that means that between now and then there's 4 or 5 transactions that are going to take place. A couple $100 out of each transaction towards your savings, and you've got the ticket paid for. And there is not a person who has been to family reunion or mega camp. I defy you to find one that is going to say it is not worth triple the cost. And there's nothing better than traveling with a bunch of fantastic people from KWGM, because it's how we build relationships. It's how we get into deeper relationships and make the most of this awesome community that we have locally and globally. Before we go into the partner updates, I'm just going to stop this share real quick. So last night I sent an email to the company about what's happening with KW Cares and everything that our company is doing to respond to what is some of the most devastating natural disasters in probably 16 or 17 years. Like, the only thing I think that could be considered comparable recently is maybe Katrina. Like, it is that bad. And in conversation, myself with people in those areas and people that are affected, it is beyond belief. And so we're a company where our culture says that we're going to help people. And nationally, we've already have semi trucks leaving Austin with water, MREs, and generators. Like, we are able as a company, because of the generosity of our agents, to move faster than the federal government. And I know that sounds like there isn't much slower than the federal government, but I'd like to think that they've got a pretty decent disaster response. With that, I sent out a note inviting everybody to give. And thanks to the leadership of our KW Cares committee, they're going to match everything that anybody in this company gives up to $5,000. And I bet if we get more, I don't think you'd have to twist their arm very hard for them to give more as well. So really the sky's the limit here on the opportunity. So I sent out that email. Julia, Carrie, what was it? Like probably 7:30, 8 o'clock at night last night. We came in this morning to over $2,000 given. So, I mean, really, really remarkable stuff. Like, most people were busy putting their kids to bed before they saw the Facebook post, or probably just saw it as another email from Mike, which admittedly you do get a lot. But what a powerful, powerful thing. I bet by the end of the day, we're going to hit the $5,000, and I'm not going to tax anybody on this call, but I bet that we could probably do it by the end of the call if we wanted to. I think that it's a great example of our culture. It is so amazing to have that response, and so greatly appreciated by people that we will never meet. That's a really cool thing about Keller Williams. It's really fun when you get a call from a stranger in a different city and they're like, "Hey, I have a referral, and I saw that I found you on KW Command, and I saw that you sell in Valley View." And then boom, you don't know this person, you don't know anything about them, but because you're in KW, they trust you. And then, this is like that times a billion. We're all opening up our pocketbooks and our wallets and our hearts to help people that we'll never know, we'll never meet. We've never, in places we've never been to. Like, that is this company and our species at its best. So very, very appreciative of everybody who's given. And I want to encourage everybody who hasn't, like, this isn't like a go find $1,000 or something like that. Like, literally $5, $10, $20. It does not matter. Anything that you can contribute will be greatly appreciated and will make a difference. Our goal as Keller Williams International, Keller Williams Realty International has a goal of raising and delivering $4 million of support to the agents and their families that are affected. There's a lot of people affected, and that's just the first pass. And I know that there's already far out there, or not that far out there, another one coming. And so people need our help, and we're going to help them because that's what we do. And that's what we're doing. Thank you so much. It is such an awesome thing to see and feel as a company. And if we can, if we haven't already, there's the link. Yeah, thank you so much. Pop into the chat and give anything that you feel comfortable giving. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to dive back in now to some partner updates, and I'm going to see what Ohio Real Title, what Rick Capretta can do to follow that.
That's pretty big. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that.
Rick, real quick,
honestly,
before you start, sorry.
Yeah.
Real quick, Sean Hadley did give. So if, I don't know if you want to continue to try to compete with him as favorite partner, just something to consider.
I'll get in there in a minute. All right. Thank you. There's honestly not a whole lot going on the title front right now. As you guys probably know, it feels like the last month really kind of slowed down a little bit. Obviously, everything after the weekend seems to be pretty hot and popping, but midweek seems to kind of been slowing down, at least from what we're seeing on an orders side. But, I'm sure Sean's going to follow this up. The rates are obviously still strong. So we expect it to hopefully pick up a little bit here as we hit the end of the year.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, let's keep all rowing in the same direction, and we'll get a big win by the end of the year. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you hopping on.
Yep.
All right, Renee. Is Renee in the house?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Shadon. We don't want to be Deshaun. We're going to be Shadon Bullock. That's what we're calling this trio.
All right. Well, no transition from that. Just yes, we'll chat about interest rates as we like to. So we're it feels like we're getting into sort of the new comfort zone. Where we were kind of the beginning of the summer into July, kind of hanging just above or just under 7%. Got the big drop, kind of leading up to the Fed meeting, kind of getting into the low and mid sixes. So we're kind of hanging in the bottom half of the sixes these days, and hopefully, as opposed to just watching unemployment reports, inflation, and Fed, we're kind of just hopefully, knock on wood, relaxing a little bit, finding our new comfort zone. The expectation is for any improvements probably to be slower and gradual. Things like the dock worker strike, that's on the horizon, or excuse me, that's kind of on the docket for things that can impact interest rates. The unemployment numbers later this week. Powell spoke yesterday and changed the market just with a 15-minute interview press conference. So anyway, there's still going to be some volatility, but I think now that the Fed meeting is behind us, with the expectation of another quarter-point drop in for the next two meetings, sort of hopefully we're in kind of a bit more even keel place. So interest rates are a full 0.75% better than where they were 2 months ago. They are a full 2% better than where we were 11.5 months ago. So October of last year, we were over 8%. So we're still having a lot of conversation on refinances, but we're definitely in a good spot, especially when you compare to the rearview mirror. Chris?
Yeah, so piggybacking off of the refinance conversation there, we did extend the buy now, refi later program 1 more month through the end of October. So anyone that wants to get in one last sale here, they will be eligible with the certificate we provide them at closing for a refinance before the end of 2025, and we waive our underwriting and processing fee for that. DJ?
Hey, man, a few words today, man. There's not much to add to dropping interest rates. Just stay tuned. Like you heard me say all year long, unemployment will drive this whole thing. So unemployment goes up, rates will start to come down. So that's your key number to watch.
And can we just real quick, let's revisit, like, what happened with unemployment? And then what's the next date that everybody should have in their mind that this is going to be a thing again?
The unemployment number is this Friday. That's always the first Friday of the month, so you can always circle that on your calendar. I believe it's the second week where we have, correct me wrong, Don or Chris, but the inflation numbers, CPI, PCE reports, and then the next Fed meeting is not until November, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
there's
November, December Fed.
Yep, November and December, those are going to be the final two meetings, and everyone's sort of penciled in, almost penned in, 0.25% drop for each of those. I did just put a new buy now, refinance later flyer into the chat board if anybody's interested in that, and I'll post something on Facebook there as well.
Awesome. Reiterating one more point around this team, when we operate as a business and we have conversations that we're tracking, we have people in our pipeline, who's a hot nurture watch, who came in when, we're able to go carve out a section of
Rezoning?
our
No,
database and say, hey, we had a conversation last year about getting you into a house. Interest rates are how many points lower, Sean?
Almost 2% lower from where we were 11 and a half months ago.
Yeah. So that's a 25% reduction in the cost associated with their loan. Homes have not gone up 25% in the last year. Like, there is a great opportunity here for you to activate dormant buyers in your database, or anybody who bought and may have to move. I mean, they were 5.5% in August of 22.
Mhm.
So think about the proximity that we have to the current rate inside of our database. There's a really good conversation there to have with people. Let's pick up the phone and have it.
And for those of you who were using the saying, marry the house, date the rate, we're about to put a ring on it, Mike. Couldn't help myself.
Man, I want to get like one of those shock jock radio soundboards, and I could have like, that would be where I'd hit like the Beyonce button, and it would, she'd say put a ring on it. Maybe in the next office build out, we'll put that in the media room. All right, the Leverage Center, Tori, Liz, what's popping with TLC? Go ahead, Liz.
So for everyone who was on the call, was it last week when we had Clarity Now on? With that integration, I just wanted to say that for all of the agents that I work with, I will work with you to get all of your information into Clarity Now, updated as you close deals, so that anytime you log in, that will be updated. For agents I don't work with, if you want to work with me, I will be including that in my services. So.
Love that. Love that. Guys, for those of you who missed it, Clarity Now is a platform that we as a market center have made an investment into that allows you to convert your business plan that you're going to make in 2 weeks, because you're going to get a ticket and you're going to be there and you're going to have an awesome business plan, into something, into a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly action plan and ability to hindsight, like, hey, I'm not hitting my goal. What is it that I'm not doing? Right? Because we don't just want to work harder. We want to do the right activities that get us the right outcomes. And so what Liz is saying is like, hey, as we're working to integrate this into all KW systems, including Command, part of her services will be helping you update and track and file everything in that system as well. There is, I have yet to find the amount of information that is too much to know about my business, especially the one that holds a mirror up to the stuff that I'm not doing, or more importantly, the stuff that I need to do the business that I want to do, to have what I want when I want it in my life. So that's awesome, Liz. Thank you so much for sharing that. And team, be on the lookout for more information coming down the pike related to Clarity Now implementation, and it'll be there will be information coming out in the next couple of weeks leading up to and then following Business Planning Clinic. Awesome. Is Tori on? I can't see the full roster. Tori, if you're here, unmute. Oh, there you are. Hey, Tori.
Hello. I just wanted to share my link to the chat if anybody did want to schedule a one-on-one consultation. And I did want to also mention I've been meeting with a lot of different agents, and I love all of the new ideas that people have. So I did just want to throw in, if there is something that you don't know if we offer, or you know for a fact is not on the Leverage Center website, please feel free to reach out. I love all the new ideas, and yeah, I want to work together to figure out the best marketing strategy for you. So I love all the new ideas. So don't be
That's awesome. And what a cool example of one of our beliefs, which is creativity, ideas before results. Tori comes with a tremendous amount of experience and expertise. And because she's so in culture, she is still learning, hey, how do we serve agents best with a real estate based, database based, or internet lead gen based business? There's so many different businesses, so many different ways that you can partner with and be served by the Leverage Center, and appreciate Tori's commitment to helping agents find the best way to activate through her. Awesome stuff. Mr. Goldberg. I don't know if he's here. All right. Whoops. There we go. Double click the slide. Actually, I'm gonna tear down the slide because we're gonna give our Market Center administrator the floor so that Julia can show you as we get into Business Planning Clinic and BPC season is officially here. We to look forward, we need to look back, right? Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And as Mark Twain says, history doesn't repeat, but it damn sure rhymes. And so we want to make sure if you've got a good business that you can make it rhyme. And if you don't have a good business, you aren't doomed to repeat it. Either way, we need to understand our history. Julia, how do we do that?
So what I'm going to show you guys today is a bunch of different reports that Keller Williams puts out for you based on the business that you have closed, written here, whether that's listings taken, closed units, closed volume, a lot of different data points that are going to be really useful for you as you enter Business Planning Clinic season and are looking to see, what have I done in the past? What have I done this year, last year, maybe the year before, looking at different shifts in the market, and planning for 2025 with, a realistic mindset of what is your goal, and then how are you going to get there through listings, buyers, what appointments that needs to be set. So I'm going to share my screen, and I am thankful. I spoke with our productivity coach, Eric Akbar, this morning, who is letting me use him as a demo for this. So all these reports are currently still housed in MyKW, which is probably a website most of you don't use that much anymore, as we've transitioned a lot of our software into Command. So this will eventually also be in Command, but for now it is still in the platform called MyKW. And the site for that is mykw.kw.com. And it's the exact same login as your Command login. So if you have not previously used this website, it will be the exact same login, and it's already activated for you. And right under your name, you're going to see this button that says reports. I'm assuming these links all are pre-loaded. I'm just going to work through it that way. Once you're here, it's going to just look like this, and these all have different drop downs. The first option you're going to have is going to be your associate production lookup. And you're going to be able to select your name on that. Once you select associate production lookup, you'll select your name, and you're going to see a window that looks like this. A little bit of data about yourself, your KW information. And then these reports are all linked. So the multi-year trends is something that we've definitely talked about before on these calls, and maybe you've been on prior finance committees or other things where you've heard us talk about it at a Market Center level. but Keller Williams puts out multi-year trends for every individual agent. And it's divided by month and year. So I'm going to click on Eric's so that we can take a look at it. Okay, hold on. Let me reload all that. Watch me walk through it in real time. I was worried that would happen if it was sitting open on my computer. So I'm going to go to Associate Production Lookup. And I can probably, and the rest of the leadership team as well, we have access to everybody. So if you ever weren't sure how to find it, I can download and email it to you. If you have questions about any of them or how to interpret them after this call, we can also, any of us are happy to sit down and kind of go over what the data represents and how it's pulled from what you're entering into Command as you're going through your business. There we go. Okay, so let me, like I said, will go back and find Eric's. Okay, so the multi-year trends is a very thorough report with a lot of different categories. So when it opens, here we go, you'll be able to see. So it's going back for 5 total years. So it's going to start in 2020. You can find prior years if you've been here longer than that and are looking for trends further back. And I can show you how to do that offline. But what it's going to show you here, we can highlight a couple of the main categories, is your totals, and then also what was happening each month along the way. And then the 2 stats here at the end are month change over August. So that would be last August versus this, and then year over year change, how your business is trending up or down through August of those years. There's going to be numbers you'll need in Business Planning Clinic to fill out based on prior years. And so this is going to be one of the best reports for you to find that. And if you we'll kind of just scroll through, as you see, there's listings taken and listings taken volume. It also breaks up your business into buy side and sell side. So you'll see listings sold and buy sales closed. So knowing how many of each you'll need each year, you can look back historically and see that data on this report. And then average sales price, they have that without any leases or referrals. That's a new addition since the data's been put into Command. Contracts written. So as we know, not all the time everything closes. So that's a good data point to have. How many contracts need to be put under, what's the ratio of them closing. Your GCI, and then company dollar, what your planned 1099 income would be. If you're ever thinking about that throughout the year, that's here, etc. So I'm going to go back and click through a couple of these different reports, and then I'll leave the link in the chat to find these afterwards. So another one, closed transaction list and summary. This is going to list everything with your address, if it was a listing or sale, if you were looking for an opportunity ID or DA number back inside of Command. And it also is going to quickly just give you totals. So your total units, volume, the breakdown between buy and sell is also here. So if you're just looking for a quick snapshot and not exactly sure what category on the multi-year trends you would be looking for, the closed transaction list lists every single transaction for that year. The monthly production summary is going to break things down by month on the side and in all these different categories. So this is just for 2024. So if you're, again, looking for a snapshot of some of these categories, but you're not necessarily wanting to look at the chart with every year involved, this will give you a snapshot of what's going on in the current year. Listing detail, this one is going to go through all the listings that you took this year with the data on their price, the, let's see if this one will load. I think the closing percent, okay, so this is this. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so this is multi-page. If you're ever looking to scroll pages, you can just click on these here. Going to show all the listing data for the year. And then income summary. This is if you're looking to see what you've made in a certain month, in a certain year, how much you've paid into your cap or your company dollar, what's remaining. That's all going to be on the income summary. And that will absolutely be helpful in business planning, since most of our plans start with a number at the top and then we work our way backwards from there. So that is kind of a quick overview. But if there's any questions in the chat, I'm sure Mike has some things to add.
Just a couple. So multi-year trends is awesome for seeing the story arc of your business over the last several years. And I would encourage you, if you've been with us 3, 4, 5 years, like take a look at that. You may be surprised when you're able to observe your own growth. And that might be a good reminder of what still lies ahead and what growth could look like for you in the future. The monthly production summary, I believe that's the one that is vertically rolls through the months. Can we click back on that? When you start to dig into this is a really powerful report. For you to commit to a business plan, you have to trust that you can deliver on it. And our belief system would tell us that trust starts with honesty. And you might look at this and see that there are months where you have 0 closings or months where you have 0 listings. You have to reconcile that against your life and how you live it. If you vacation for 2 weeks in every July because it's the most important thing to you and to your family to have that, you might see that August and September are going to be a little bit soft for you. So don't look at this and say, oh boy, if I could just, sell 2 units in August instead of 0 every year and da 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 da. And we start telling ourselves a story that we might not even want to be a part of. And so when you look at this, don't take it as like, oh, this isn't enough, or oh, this or that. Like, just try to observe it and become aware of like why things are the way they are. And so if you're like, hey, I know that last fall, right? Look, Eric had almost 25% of his closings year to date in a period of time that probably represents less than probably 15% of the total expected volume in the market for the year, the first quarter, right? Things are real slow. Nobody wants to buy a house in January. I bet if Eric looked at this, he'd be like, you know what? I was, when did Eric's little one arrive? Was it November of last year? So what do you think Eric was doing in October, November, and December? He was nesting with his bride as they expected their first baby. And he was probably doing a lot more work from his home office than he may have historically done. And what do you know? The more you work, the more it shows up 90 days later, and you see a really strong start to the year. And if you roll April in, half of his units are right there in a period of time that does not typically represent 50% of production. And so when you can understand, hey, what is it that actually led to my success or the alternate, then you're able to do something about it, right? You can the awareness brings insight, the insights allow you to take the right action. So not everybody needs to go a mile deep on this, but it won't be bad if you do. You're going to learn something about yourself. You're going to learn something about your business, and you're going to be able to walk into the business planning clinic You're going to be able to walk into the business planning clinic knowing how to set an honest plan that you can commit to. Questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, physical threats?
I have a question.
Yes.
When I pull up my report, here it asks for a number.
Next time you're in the office, can you show that to Julia or I, and we'll help you get it sorted. I'm not familiar with that issue.
Yeah, it had not been doing it before, and I noticed lately it's been doing that. So,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
More than guys, more than happy to troubleshoot anything. Like if you if you're having trouble understanding a report or reading a report, like please fire off a quick email, attach it. Like I'm obsessive about reporting, probably to a fault. But the way to consider everything in relation to each other is like something that I think is empowering. And so it'd be my pleasure to help anybody figure out how to leverage these going into business planning clinic, because I think when we set the right goals and build a truly actionable plan around it, like we get the best outcome. What I don't want anyone to do is to show up to business planning clinic and just decide the number that the income that I want is $100,000 or $200,000. Because who knows if that's the right number. Take some time and figure out, from a business owning standpoint, what are my business expenses going to be? What are my taxes going to be? What are my, how much money do I want to pay myself out of my business? What do I have to do to, what is the number that has to be delivered in the top of the funnel? And guys, the reason we do this now, you're going to see people advertising business planning clinics in November and in December and kicking off the year, right? Tony Geraci is going to do one on January 1st, New Year's Day. It's too late. If you don't know what you want and how you're going to get it for 2025, by the end of the month, you're going to be playing catch up all year. This coming year, this is the year where we start strong, we go strong through market, and we finish strong. Like this is the year for taking territory and for changing the inflection point in your business and your life. And so everything you see lined up, all the artillery on the hillside that exists in this company is there for you. Please, please, please take advantage of it. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to add? All right, guys. Let's drop the link in the chat one more time. September has ended. 2025 is underway, and you have an opportunity with the #1 real estate company in Northeast Ohio to put yourself in a position to take territory that you're never going to give back. If you have any questions or you need any help with anything we covered today, please reach out to myself or any member of the leadership team, your productivity coach. We are here to help and get you in a position to win. Thanks, team. Have a good one.